We are here with IFBC presenter Marc Lawrence. Marc, how you doing today?
I'm doing just great, Drew. I wish you were down here in South Florida with me, but you're probably in a better place right now in Costa Rica.
Yeah, no, both great weather. I actually grew up in Fort Lauderdale. We were talking about that right before you came on. But yeah, excited to get to meet you when you come down. You're coming down on August 4th, correct?
I'll be down on August 4th, looking forward to the seminar, the two-day seminar. I'm just looking forward to not only the seminar, but meeting everybody that's going to be a who's who. The panel, as I understand, everybody attending the seminar is going to be great.
Yeah, we can't wait. And just to give some of the viewers and the visitors a little bit of background on you, Marc, before you got into sports betting, did you have another job before sports betting?
Actually, I did. When I got out of high school, I married my high school sweetheart and right away went to work for a heating and air conditioning supply company. And I worked there as a salesperson for 10 years. And while I was selling air conditioning and heating and air conditioning supply parts, I fell in love with sports handicapping. Actually, I fell in love with sports handicapping in high school. I used to read the Gold Sheet in high school and had a big love for it and decided that my passion would be sports rather than selling air conditioning parts.
Yeah, so you read the Gold Sheet and then decided to make something, I guess, in the same ballpark and just totally outdo them, huh?
Well, that and, you know, it's by osmosis. You could say that just reading the Gold Sheet more or less prepared me to become a handicapper. And I decided that not only learning from them, but also creating my own mark, my own niche, if you will. And my niche is basically I love to put out publications and products that help people become better at handicapping sports. So that was my goal, and that's what we did when we launched Playbook.
Okay, and Marc, what would you say is your specialty? Do you concentrate on one sport more than any others?
Well, the specialties are college football and NFL football. Those are the two. I do love college basketball as a fan. I'm a big hockey fan, too. I'm a Florida Panthers season ticket holder down here. I love the game of hockey, but as far as handicapping goes, college football, NFL, those are number one and number two for me.
Okay, and if you had to pick one or the other, which one would you go with?
Yeah, I would go with whatever's winning or working. You know, it doesn't matter what her name is, as long as she's working and winning with you. That's good with me. And each year I've done better, I'd say, honestly, in National Football League and the NFL. And you know, I cover the NFL for USA Today Sports Weekly. I do a column for them, so I'm engrossed in the NFL largely because I do that column for them.
Okay. And if you had to put three pillars on sports betting, maybe a couple things that you just never do when handicapping sports or betting on college football or the NFL, can you throw any of those out there?
Well, when it comes to handicapping football specifically, because that's what we're going to be talking about, the first golden rule is never bet on a favorite with a bad defense, because, you know, bad defensive teams find ways to lose games, and it's so awfully difficult to bet a favorite and cash a ticket, because my golden rule is the Woody Hayes theory of handicapping. When you bet an underdog, three things can happen, and two of them are good. That underdog wins the game or he covers the spread. But when you bet a favorite, he has to win and cover. That's the only scenario you can win. So if I'm going to bet a favorite, they have to have a good defense.
I like that one a lot. What about, in your opinion, where do you see sports betting going in, let's say, 5 or even 10 years?
Well, right now, with the talk of the Supreme Court maybe overturning the rule, the PASPA rule, and looking like we're getting closer and closer to legalized wagering in the United States, I see it happening sooner than later. It looks like the National Football League is coming around. We have a big advocate in Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Adam Silver, I should say, the NBA commissioner, is a big advocate of sports wagering as well. So I think everybody's going to be coming to the table here sooner than later, and when it happens, it's going to be good for everybody. We'll all benefit.
If you had to put an over-under on sports betting being legal in America outside of the state of Nevada, what would you set the number at?
I would set the number at 3 years. I think hopefully we'll get good results when the Supreme Court gets together and rules. If they do, it'll be a 1 or 2 year process thereafter. But, you know, the whole bottom line here, Drew, is that there's a lot of money on the table for a lot of people, and that's what the drawing interest is going to be. Everybody's going to want their share of the pie, if you will. The National Football League is finding that they have to find other outlets to increase their revenue here. The television media is drying up a little bit with them that way, and the Mark Cuban thing I talked about, he loves the fact that gambling keeps people engaged in the sport. And that's what it's all about as far as owners are, is engaging their customers and their fan base, and that's what will happen when we legalize wagering.
Absolutely. Advertising becomes more valuable at that point as well.
For sure. For sure.
And we also got to give you a shout out, Mark. You're celebrating 50 years of your wedding anniversary, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Unbelievable. My high school sweetheart, she still is, and we're going to be married 50 years, August 18th. So I'm really looking forward to celebrating that with her. And it's like I say, I was telling you before, she's my best friend, and would love nothing better than to do another 50 years with the same girl.
Awesome, Mark. And if you had to give any advice, that's it, right?
Well, my advice is really, number one, it's plain and simple, is make sure that your wife is your best friend. If you two are best friends, then you're going to end up being around together for a long, long time. It's worked 50 years for us. We're best friends.
It's a great way to end it, Mark. I really look forward to meeting you August 4th down here in Costa Rica. And make sure to check out ifbc.live and learn a little bit more about Mark as well. Thanks for taking the time, Mark.
My pleasure, Drew. I look forward to seeing you and the guys at IFBC in San Jose, August 5th.
And I forgot to mention, his website is playbook.com, and find him on Twitter at Marc with a C Lawrence. That's at Marc Lawrence on Twitter. All right, thanks for your time, Mark.
Be good, Drew. Thank you.